Okay, so we're going to begin on Tzadik and Bekius. Although yesterday we did the Shema Mina Tla, so I'd like to go over it a second time. The Gemara is Medayik in the Mishnah, Nosas Rishena Shema Mina Tla. So three diukim, three halachas we can learn out from the Mishnah. Shema Mina Achaz L'chayev Achaz L'maisi V'yeshem Kesubos Ben Dichrin V'loi Chay Shinulin Suge. You can learn from the Mishnah that if a man married two wives, the first one dies, he marries a second wife, then the man dies. So that means the children of the first marriage, the children of the first wife, are coming and demanding Kesubos Ben Dichrin. They're demanding the money of the dowry that their mother brought into the marriage. And the Mishnah says that the diuk in the Mishnah is that they're going to get that, although the children from the second wife are going to collect their mother's ksuba first. If there's extra money, it's going to go to the Kesubos Ben Dichrin of the children of the first one. So we see that even though achas b'chayev, achas b'moso, one wife died while the husband was still alive, and one wife died after the husband died. Nonetheless, there's still a Kesubos Ben Dichrin. And we're not worried about a fight breaking out. What would this fight be? The fight would be, as Rashi explains, is that children from wife number two say, hello, we're Balei Chayv. We're the real deal here. You guys are coming at Kesubos Ben Dichrin, but first you have to deal with the Chayv. So get out of town. Chayv trumps Kesubos Ben Dichrin. And children from wife number one are going to say, what are you doing here? You're just Balei Chayv. You're not collecting Kesubos Ben Dichrin, so we should get precedence, we should get priority. It's going to create a machlekes. And we say we're not worried, we're not concerned about that machlekes. Now, what does that mean, we're not concerned about the machlekes? Does it mean there's not going to be a machlekes? Could be. Or it could be that even though there might be a machlekes, we're not going to take that into consideration. We're going to follow Yikov Adin Sahar. We're going to follow the halacha and make sure that we've accomplished Kesubos Ben Dichrin. So that, where do we learn that out? What's the diuk in the Mishnah? They come first. But if there's extra money after you pay off the ksuba of the shniya, then shakli, then the Rishain, the Rishain are going to get their Kesubos Ben Dichrin. That's halacha number one. Halacha number two, V'shmamina Kesubos Ben Dichrin. Furthermore, we're going to learn out that ksuba, the payment of ksuba to number two, can be considered the extra dinar for Kesubos Ben Dichrin. What does that mean? In the fourth parak, the Mishnah tells us that the Tanai ksuba is Kesubos Ben Dichrin, that the male children are going to inherit the dowry that their mother brought into the marriage, provided that there's an extra dinar that the husband had in addition to the dowry. After you would pay off the full dowry, there still would be one dinar extra. Why do we need a dinar extra? So explain there, in order to accomplish Yerusha De'araisa, the mitzvah of Yerusha, the Torah outlines, in order to fulfill the din De'araisa, you have to have an extra dinar. So here we're saying that the payment of the ksuba to the shniya is going to be considered that moisar dinar, that extra dinar, in order that the Yosher Rishayna can now get their Kesubos Ben Dichrin. Rashi explains why. Because in order to get any Yerusha, first you have to pay off the chayvos. The responsibility to pay the ksuba to the shniya falls upon all of the yorshim of the dead husband. So Mamela, by paying the ksuba to the shniya, they are all accomplishing their Yerusha. It's as if they inherited the money, paid off the chayv, and now they're going to proceed with Kesubos Ben Dichrin. That's halacha number two. Halacha number three, Kesubos Ben Dichrin, that the Yosher Rishayna, when they come to collect, they will never, ever be able to collect their Kesubos been different from Mishubadin, from land that is already indebted, that has a lien on it to somebody else. In other words, here the Shnia collected land, but guess what? The obligation to pay the Rishayna and the Kesubos has been different to the Yarsha Rishayna came before the Shnia ever existed. So they should be able, the Yarsha Rishayna should be able to come and say, hey lady, your ksuba really is indebted to me before you came on the scene, and I should get it first. And therefore, after Yarsh Shnia and Yarsh Shnia collect their ksuba, then the Yarsh Rishayna should come and be able to take it away because their obligation preceded the Shnia. They should be able to take it away from the Shnia. The halacha is that they don't do that. Why? Because if the ksuba has been different, be able to be collected from the mishubadim, they should be able to come and take away the money and the land that the shnia already received. So we see that from the fact that only if there's extra after they paid off the chayv to the shnia, there extra does the rishayna, yarsha rishayna, Kesubos has been different. And that implies that the yarsha rishayna cannot come and take it away from the shnia. Maski Rabashi Mimai Dilma Liola Mimnacha Achas B'Chayiv Achas B'Mosa Ein Laheng Kesubos been indifferent. Let's go back to the first shmami. The first shmami, no, Achas B'Chayiv Achas B'Mosa. There's still Kesubos been indifferent, even though the Rishona died while the husband was still alive. There still is Kesubos been indifferent. Frek the Gemara, Frek the Rashi, how do you know that's true? We learn that out from the words koidmin, that Yarshe Shnia are koidmin to the Rishona. My koidmin, linachal, meaning that they come first, we have to pay off the chov, the ksuba of the Shnia before we deal with nachal or the regular Yerusha de'araisa. But in hachinami, that there's no Kesubos been indifferent once there's, in the case of achas b'chayev achas b'mosa. V'chi teima yorshe harishona lomali. And if you're going to ask, hold on, if really there's no din of Kesubos been indifferent after achas b'chayev achas b'mosa, so why does the Mishnah talk about Yorshe Rishona? The children of the first wife are not collecting because they are Yorshim, they're inheriting their mother. You know why they're getting anything? They're getting anything because they, guess what? Their father died. They're getting it as regular nachal, as regular Yorshim. So why does the Mishnah, if you're telling me there's no din of Kesubos been indifferent, why does the Mishnah use the lashon Yorshe HaRishona? Says the Gemara, I did that Shnia of Yorshe, and then Yorshe HaRishona. But it's lav dafka Yorshe Rishona, just means the other children of the father. And the second halacha that you mentioned, that paying the ksuba to shnia is considered the moiser dinar, in order that you can now accomplish Kesubos been indifferent. Maybe that's not true. And here, the reason that it's achas b'chayev achas b'mosa, we're allowing the Yarsha Rishona to collect Kesubos been indifferent is because really, guess what? After you pay the chayiv to the shnia, and after the Kesubos been indifferent, there still is an extra dinar. In other words, let's say the father died with $100,000 in his estate. The obligation to pay shnia was $40,000. He's still left with $60,000. He goes and pays Kesubos been indifferent to the Rishon. That was another $40,000. Guess what? He's left with $20,000. Since he's left with that extra $20,000, you can accomplish Yusha D'Oraisa. But if the situation would be that after you pay Kesubos been indifferent, there would be no money left in the estate at all. In a Chanami, you wouldn't pay Kesubos been indifferent. V'achas b'chayav, v'achas b'moso, Tanai. So not only do we have a kasha on diak from the Mishnah of halacha number 1, we have a kasha on diak from the diak in the Mishnah on halacha number 2, but furthermore, the halacha of achas b'chayv, achas b'mosa, which we wanted to medayik in the Mishnah, that achas b'chayv, achas b'mosa is still a din of Kesubos ben Dichrin. Really, guess what? That's an old time machlekes Tanoim. The Tanya, the Brisa says, "Meiso achas b'chayv, achas b'mosa." Benanas oimer yochaylin b'nei harishoyna loyim b'nei hashniya. Atem, the bached, b'nei balas chov atem. Tluk soy v'ascha. Kesubos imachem. V'tzu. The banana says the Rishayna can come and say, "You guys, you're collecting Kesubos imachem. You're balei choy. Take your Kesubos. Get out of here. Get out of here. We want our Kesubos b'nei different. Get out of here." Rabbi Kiva oimer, no. The Bnei Rishayna don't get Kesubos b'nei different. Kvar kovsa nachala milifnei b'nei Rishayna. The nachala that Kesubos b'nei different already jumped. It left. It left from in front of the Bnei Rishayna. The nafla lifnei b'nei hashniya, and it now presents itself in front of the children of the shniya. In other words, the shniya is going to collect Kesubos imahem. They're going to get their mother Kesuba. But there's not going to be a din of Kesubos b'nei different back to the Rishayna. They lost their opportunity to collect Kesubos b'nei different. It says the Gemara. My love of Banana says there's a din of Kesubos b'nei different, even though achas b'chayv achas b'mosa. Umar saber achas b'chayv achas b'mosa ain't laheng Kesubos b'nei different. So we want to say that that's the old time machlekes Tanoim about Kesubos b'nei different achas b'chayv achas b'mosa. So Rabbi Ashkechinu the Rabbi of the Beir Rab the Asika Amrim to Alma achas b'chayv achas b'mosa Kesubos b'nei. Rabbi says, we found that the Rabbanan, the Talmidei Chachamim, and the Beis Medrash were sitting and they were saying that really everyone agrees. In other words, the fact that the father remarried doesn't remove the rights of the Bnei Rishayna to collect their Kesubos b'nei different. What are you going to do with the Machlekes Bananas and Rabbi Akiva? I thought the implication was Rabbi Akiva says there's no din Kesubos b'nei different of achas b'chayv achas b'mosa. V'hacha b'Kesubos asas moisa lechaverta v'hu adin b'chayv k'miflagi. And the machlekes Rabbi Akiva Bananas is about a whole different halacha. It's about halacha number 2 that we wanted to make a mission. Can the payment of the Kesuba to the Shniya be considered a moiser dinar? Is that considered the moiser dinar in order that the Bnei Rishayna can go collect their Kesubos b'nei different? Mar sovar Kesubos asas moisa lechaverta. The banana says is paying off. Since everyone has an obligation to pay the chayvos of the dead father, therefore paying the Kesuba of the Shniya, that's considered the moiser dinar. That's considered the Yusha Daraisa. And Memela now the Bnei Rishayna can go collect their Kesubos b'nei different. Umar Sover ain't Kesubos asas moisa lechaverta v'hu adin b'chayv. And Rabbi Akiva says no. Paying off an obligation is not I agree with you that all of the Yorshim are equally obligated to pay the chayvos of their father. But that is not called accomplishing the din of nachal of Yerusha Daraisa. That's not called an inheritance Daraisa. That's taking care of obligations. Yerusha Daraisa means that people are actually getting, goes into their bank account, goes into the inheritor's bank account, paying off loans, paying off obligations. That's not going into their bank account. That's not an accomplishment of Yerusha Daraisa. V'amina lahu ana. Now Rabbi comes along and he says, everyone agrees when it comes to Baal Chov, they're paying off a Baal Chov, everyone agrees that is an accomplishment of Yerusha Daraisa. That is definitely a moser dinar. Ki pligi b'Ksuba. The machlekes Rabbi Akiva and Bananas is only about a Ksuba. By paying the Ksuba of the Shniya, is that considered a moser dinar or not? Right? So Bananas says not only paying off an obligation of a chayv is a moser dinar, but even paying off a Ksuba is a moser dinar. And Rabbi Akiva says, no. Paying off a chayv, I agree with that's a moser dinar. Paying off a ksuba, that's not a moiser dinar. That's not a Yerusha. That's paying off the Ksuba. Maski Flor of Yosef. Yehochi Rabbi Akiva Oimer Kfar Kovsa Nachla Im Yesham Moiser Dinar Mi Bayale. Comes along Rabbi Yosef says, Rabbi, I don't have. You're telling me, according to Rabbi Akiva, the reason that there's no Ksuba has been in Dichin is because there's no Mosar Dinar. Paying off the Chayiv of the Ksuba, paying off the Ksuba to the Shniya is not considered a Moser Dinar. So the reason that the Bnei Rishayna are not getting their Ksubas bin indifferent is simply because there's no Moser Dinar. The reason is because there's no Moser Dinar. So why did Rabbi Akiva say Kfar Kov Sanachal, the Nachla left the Rishayna, went to the Shniya? That's not the Pshat. The Pshat is because there's no Moser Dinar. Rav Yosef. Really, the machlekes is like we said originally. The machlekes is b'achas b'chai b'achas b'maisa. V'hani tanoi ki hani tanoi. So now let's compound the problem. This machlekes tanoim is equivalent to a different machlekes tanoim. The Tanya nasas rishon umeis nasas shniya umeisu. The same case as our Mishnah, a man married a woman, the woman died. He gets remarried to number 2, then he dies. These children come and they collect the ksuba of their mother. And the implication is, which are these children that we're talking about? As Rashi points out, the children of the Shniya come and collect the ksuba of their mother. If Shimon says, if there's a Moser Dinar, then they both are able to collect the ksuba of their mother. But if there's no extra dinar, so what's the machlekes? The machlekes is as follows. The Marisavar, the Tanakam says, the Marisavar is different. So now, Reb Shimon holds that there is a din of Kesubos different. As long as there's a Moser Dinar, then there is a Kesubos bin different, even though it's Achas V'chai V'achas V'maisai. The Tanakhama says, no. There's no Kesubos bin different. All that's left is the Ksuba of the Shniya. So the Shniya, the Yorshei Shniya, can come and collect the Ksuba. Then the rest of the estate is going to go through the normal Nachla Yerusha D'Oraisa process, and no one is going to have Kesubos bin different any longer. So we want to say that the machlekes ben Nanas and Rabbi Akiva is the same as the machlekes Tanakama and Reb Shimon. And we're going to have a compounded machlekes Tanaim about Achas V'chai V'achas V'maisai. Is it Nas? Do you say Kesubos been different or not? The Gemara says no. You missed the boat. Look, everyone agrees, like the Dik and our Mishnah, there's a din has been different. Now you have a big problem. Now you have to explain the machlekes Tanakam and Shimon. What's the machlekes? They're arguing about a dina mekarkoi, a dina of land. Dina of land. Meaning like this. When the man died, he had $100,000 in his bank account. He had $100,000 in his bank account. But of those $100,000, most of it was karka. A little of it was metalton. After he pays off the shniya, the ksuba of the shniya, all that's left in his bank account is what? All that's left in his bank account is metalton. I'm sorry, after he pays off the shniya, if he would pay off the Kesubos bin different of the Rishona, all that would be left in his bank account would be a dinar of metalton. And no karka. Do we say the fact that there is money left, that's good enough to allow for Kesubos bin different? We say no. The extra Meiser dinar has to be specifically karka. Fact the Gemara, Mimat Zamas Hachi. The heart and I'm showing I'm if you sham nechaz and mechrayis and include machi and nechaz sham nechaz and mechrayis. The next Mishnah Rabbi Shimon explicitly says that it has to be karka, as in the chazbon like rice, equivalent to karka. Metaltalin are worthless in the cheshbon. So we see everyone agrees that it really has to be karka. Everyone agrees that the extra dinar has to be karka. So what is the machlekes of Shimon and Tanna Kama? The extra dinar after you pay off the rishayna, if they were now after they pay off the shniya, if they would now go back and pay off the kesubos has been indifferent of the rishayna, all that would be left would be karka. That's mishubot karka. That's indebted for a loan. So the Tanna Kama says, sorry, since this extra karka, this extra dinar is already mishubot, it does not go into the equation. It's not counted for that moisar dinar. And Rabbi Shimon says, no, it's okay. I don't mind that it's mishubot. It's okay, even though it's mishubot, at the end of the day, everyone has to pay the chayv. Everyone has to pay the shivu. So that's considered a moisar dinar. Rabbi Shimon, if that's the case, you're telling me Rabbi Shimon is saying if there's an extra dinar, so everyone gets a ksuba. It says a cave on dinar, everyone gets a ksuba. In other words, the language implies that Rabbi Shimon is coming to say, if there's an extra dinar gets what I'll tell you, that everyone the Rishon gets ksuba different. I don't know. It's a kula. He's coming to say since that's why there's a ksuba been different. Really, the machlekes all that's left in the bank account would be pach medina. Maris over dinner in, pach medina loy. Maris over after the pach medina. Shimon's saying even if there's less than the dinner, that's good enough to accomplish ksuba rice. Hold on. What Rabbi Shimon dinar ka'amar? Didn't Rabbi Shimon say dinar? I can say Rabbi Shimon says pach medina. Rabbi Shimon says explicitly dinar. Let's switch it around. The Tanna Kama says if there's pachas medina left, that's good enough to do kesubos ben different. Comes along Rav Shimon says no. Only if there is a dinar left. Do you say kesubos ben? You're allowed kesubos ben different. If there's no dinar left, all that's left in the bank account is pachas medina. That's not good enough to allow the bnei rishon to inherit the kesubos ben different. Says the Gemara, Tanna Kama to Masnis and Nami dinar ka'amar. Hold on, Tanna Kama. The next Mishnah says the words dinar. So you can't tell me that Tanna Kama says pach medina is good enough. Rather, it must be like the first two Lashainas. In other words, really the machlekes of Shimon and Banana says Shimon and Tanna Kama is about either do you hold karka mishubot is good enough to be the moiser dinar, or karka metaltal, or moiser dinar from metaltal is good enough. One of those two is the machlekes. But we mixed it up. We thought that Tanna Kama was saying that moisar dinar from metaltalin is good, but from karka is good, but metaltalin is no good. And Rabbi Shimon was saying even metaltalin. No, it's fakert. The Tanna Kama is saying any moisar dinar is good enough for the Rishayna to get the bnei Rishayna to get the kesubos ben different. And comes along, Rabbi Shimon says, no. That moisar dinar has to be specifically from karka, or that moisar dinar has to be specifically from bnei chayrin, and mishubalim is not good enough. We have a few more minutes. Let's see how far we can get. Amar Zutra mishmei dera papa. Hilchasa. Ach b'chai b'achas moisar yishon kesubos ben different, and kesubos nas moisar b'chaveret. Two halachis. First of all, you do say kesubos ben different to the bnei rishayna, and second of all, paying the shniya, that's considered a moisar dinar. I understand if you're going to tell me, he just has to tell me that there's a chiddush. You do say kesubos ben different. But paying the second one's not good enough. You have to actually have a moisar dinar in the bank account after you pay both the shniya and the rishayna. So havamina ieka moisar dinar iloi in iloi loi. Then you only pay the kesubos ben different if there's an extra dinar. But if there's no extra dinar, then no. Elo lishmina kesubos nas moisar chaverto. But if you wanted to teach me that kesuba, and because the paying of the kesuba to the shniya is considered a moisar dinar, The only reason you're teaching me that halacha is because you want to now allow there for the be different. So once you teach me the halacha of paying the ksuba to the shnia is considered a ma'aser dinar, obviously that teaches me that achas b'chai v'achas ma'aser. There is a din of ksuba's been different. Says the Gemara, no. If it would have just said, if Marzutra would have just passed in ksuba nasas ma'aser b'chaverta, it would be a case where he married 3 wives. 2 wives died while he was alive, and 1 died after his death. And the one who died after his death, he lives in the cave. She only had a daughter, so she has no Yerusha. There's no Yerusha. There's only a din of ksuba. There's no Yerusha. So the reason that the Maisar dinar being paid to the 3rd lady is not a Yerusha, it's a ksuba. And that everyone's going to agree is considered a Maisar dinar. But achas b'chai v'achas b'maisai, or hadach ha'mitzvah zachar ha'i, where it has a din of Yerusha and not only a din of ksuba, then I'm worried about everyone fighting because you have the banim of the male sons of the shnia saying we're Yoshin, you shouldn't get anything, and you have the male children of the Rishonim saying hold on, we're Yoshim, we're just get the ksuba's been indifferent, and it's going to create a big machlekes. So I would say the only time that ksuba has the ma'aser chaverta is when it's specifically a ksuba payment, but it's not also a Yerusha payment. Kemash malon, the ksuba, the achas b'machayev, achas b'maisai. There is a din ksuba's been indifferent. We're not worried about the Yarshim fighting, and the payment of the shnia is considered a ma'aser dinar for the Rishayna. Shkayach. If anyone has any questions, whatever, feel free to contact me momentarily.
Thank you.